to their show.
Good morning, everyone. Guess what, you guys? I got contacts. No more glasses. Good morning, SMP Nation. I'm so excited to be here with you today on this amazing Takeover Tuesday. How are we doing? It's the week of Thanksgiving. If you've got kids at home from school, how is it going? Have you had time to make some projects? Let me know. I'm glad that we are all here together this morning and talk about some amazing embroidery. I want to say hi to some of you guys this morning. Good morning, Ginger. Oh my gosh, thanks guys. You guys are all giving me compliments on the contacts. You guys, I love y'all. Okay, so we've got You Know Me on. Good morning. Joe Allen, Miss Wolfgeist, good morning. Barb, good morning. She's from Tennessee. Roxanne Sexton, Carol Lombardi. Oh, she said, good morning, Roger. Are we ready?
Good morning, SMP Nation.
He is ready for the day. Okay, let's see who else. Christina Cunningham, good morning. We've got a full house today, and I totally know why. Arnell said, now we can see your eyes. I know. It bugged me so much that I had to wear my glasses when I was doing the show because I felt like you guys couldn't really see me or like see my face. So we're good now. I'm feeling good. I feel like I can see you guys. Hopefully you can see me. It's great. I just have a quick story I want to tell you guys before we get started with today's episode. So, as you may or may not know, Blaine, he's the CEO here, and he does SMP Live every Thursday. And his wife, Michelle, not only is she amazing, but number two, she always brings in some amazing desserts, okay? Always bringing in some sort of cake. And they're always so good, so delicious. She brought in 2 cakes yesterday, and I did not get the chance to try them. And I was so sad. I went into Blaine's office. I said, Blaine, I didn't get to try Michelle's treats or anything, and I was so upset. Well, Wolfgeist, if you're watching, we finally got cake this morning. We finally got it. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. I'm keeping it over here so we can all try some before it goes out into the kitchen. But I feel like we accomplished something. Right, Wolfgeist? Are you watching? Well, I just want to tell you that real quick. But let's go ahead and get started with today's show. And we are having the one, the only Reen Wilcoxson here today to show off some of her amazing designs and collections that she has, from her in Embroidery Garden and with Dime as well. And I am so excited because I feel like a lot of people, especially if you're in our SMP Nation Facebook group, everybody's always been doing a lot of in the hoop projects recently. And I love seeing that. And Reen is just amazing with anything in the hoop. I always love watching her and learning from her. She's great. And why not, especially with the holidays coming up and gift season and all that kind of stuff, why not show you how to make these amazing custom purses? They are so cute, so adorable. I love them so much. Everyone here, we're big fans, and you can get some today and try them out and see and use some of her accessories that she has with Dime. All of them such nice quality, very high quality products, and I'm just excited to learn these with you guys and see some of Reen's, tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. And she has been on the show before, so I hope you guys are excited, and it's just gonna be great. I'm excited. And after that, somebody asked, is that a golf club behind you? I just saw this comment. That is. That is a golf club. Kyle, you're not in the frame. Yes. You got to move over a little bit. There you go. Golf club, Squishmallow.
We got golf balls, and we got a putting green.
There's a putting green right over here. When it's one of those days, you just gotta, play some golf, right? Well, before we bring Reen on, I just want to tell you guys just a couple quick ways you can stay connected with us after today's show. If this is your first time, we've got social media, so follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and join our Facebook group. It's called SMP Nation. The links to all of our social media and everything connected with Reen as well is down below. All the links you'll need are right down right down below, with links to all the products as well from today. So check that out. Definitely sign up for our emails. If you go to our website, it'll be a little pop-up for Black Friday because Black Friday is so close. It is crazy. The holidays coming up is just so wild to me. That time is going by so fast. And especially Cyber Monday is coming up. It's so exciting. And I hope you guys will hang out with us on our Cyber Monday live stream. But those are just a couple ways you can get connected. So sign up for emails, follow our socials, go shop today. You might get the chance to get a gift card today with all the giveaways today. So great opportunities for SMP Nation today, but I hope you all are excited and ready. And let's go ahead and chat with Reen and see what she's going to be talking about today. Hello, Reen.
Hi, Kennedy. Hi, everyone.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that you're here. How are you? How's your Tuesday going?
It's going good. Got a few little things stitched out this morning, a couple of ornaments for the grandkids, just like everyone else, trying to keep up and get ready for the holidays.
Yes, I feel like this is, especially, with COVID happening over the past couple of years, I feel like a lot of people are starting to get more comfortable with seeing people this year. So I feel like it's definitely full swing with holiday season, and it's back and better than ever.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, all right, Reen, I will go ahead and let you get started and chat about all of the amazing designs and projects that you have for us. And if you guys have questions, I'll be back behind the scenes. But go ahead and take it away, Reen.
Okay. Thanks, Kennedy. Well, welcome, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. I know it's just a couple days away. I see a lot of familiar names here. I want to give a little shout out to Marietta. It's nice for you to join me here today. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to show you in the hoop design. I'm going to be stitching one of my purses, the 6x10 size of my Anna Lee purse. And this is the Anna Lee purse. I call it the Anna Lee purse because I named the collection after my grandmother, who was a big influence on me, for sewing and crafting and everything throughout my life. This is the 7x12 size. There are 4 sizes in the set. This one is made of cork, and the appliques that are on the front, this is part of my hand-sketched floral collection, which is a separate purchase from the Anna Lee purse set. Both the floral collection and the purse set are available at Sewing Machines Plus online. And I'm also going to be talking about my hoop and press pads. That's a new product that I put out recently in collaboration with Dime. So is anybody new to In the Hoop? I'll be showing some more of the floral collection as we go along, but I wanted to get started on the purse. So first, let me go ahead and change my view. And let's talk about what we're going to need for this purse. So like I said, I am going to do this one in some holiday fabrics. I thought this would be cute for the lining. There's a little bit of a silver metallic in there. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera. And I'm going to be using a green as the main fabric. But I've got all of my pieces cut, and I've gone ahead and I have hooped a piece of no-show mesh stabilizer. It's a cutaway. It's kind of a fabric-like cutaway. I am using cottons today. On the sample that I showed, I did use cork, but I wanted to do something more holiday-like because that's the time it is. So I'm using my 6x10 hoop. And I've gone ahead already and I've stitched my zipper down. And I did that for a couple of reasons. One, to save a little bit of time on this demo. And two, I like to make sure my machine is working before I start a demo. So that kind of helps me out a little bit. So step one, what it did was it stitched 2 lines onto the stabilizer, 2 parallel lines. So I knew where to place my zipper. When you place your zipper, they always go right side up. And I always put the pull on the left. If you wanted to put it over here on the right, that's perfectly fine. But I always put it on the left. And I went ahead and I taped down the pull just because I don't want it flopping around and possibly getting underneath the needle or the foot. So after I taped that zipper down in place, step number 2 stitched it down for me. So you can see the stitching here and here. So that stitched my zipper down. So now it's secure to the stabilizer and I don't have to worry about it shifting around or anything. So the next step, which would actually be step number 3, is going to be to work on the back side of the hoop. So let me go ahead and grab the fabric piece I'm going to need, which is a lining piece. Remember, this is going to be my lining. It's going to be kind of fun looking on the inside. And this is where I'm going to use my hoop and press pads. So these are hoop and press pads. You can get them on Sewing Machine Plus's website. They come individually, 5x7, 6x10, 8x8, 8x12. Or you can get them bundled and you can save money by getting them bundled. But I'm using my 6x10 hoop, so I'm going to use the 6x10 hoop and press pad. So let me just kind of move these out of the way for now. Put them down here on the floor. So the hoop and press pad, it's a wool pad that's thick and it has a non-slip surface on the back side so that it's not going to move around when you are using it. So you place it down on the table and I'm going to put my hoop right side down over top of it. I saw someone ask if I use zipper by the yard, and I do. I love to use zipper by the yard. To me, there's a lot less waste if I use zipper by the yard. So that's what I prefer to use. So I'm going to take my hoop and press pad and place it right side, upside down over the hoop and press pad. So now you see I have support underneath my hoop. Why do I need support underneath my hoop? Well, when you're doing in the hoop designs and you have to work on the back side, a lot of times you're taping something, you're flipping a fabric, you're cutting, you're trimming, and you need the support because you don't want to push on your stabilizer. If you start pushing on your stabilizer, you're going to maybe throw the registration of your design off. You're going to shift your stabilizer within the hoop, all the kinds of things you don't want to do. So this next step, I'm going to take my lining, I'm going to place it right side down, and I'm going to put one of these short edges. Let me kind of move it down a little bit, even with this placement line at the bottom edge of my zipper. So let me just line it up, grab some tape, and you can see now I can press down and I can make sure my tape is nice and secure. We all use different brands of tape, different types of tape, and you really want to make sure that your tape holds. So no matter what type of tape you're using, you want to be able to press it down well and make sure that it's secure. The next step, we're going to work on the front side of the hoop. So I'm going to turn my hoop over. And for the front of my bag, I'm going to use this kind of green fabric. You see a little bit of darker lines in there. Kind of reminds me of wood almost. But I'm going to be using this for the front. So again, this is going to go right side down. And I'm going to line up one of the short ends with the bottom edge of the zipper here. Get that lined up. And again, I do want to tape this in place. We don't want our fabric shifting when we are stitching. So let me get this stitched down. Now I'm ready to take my hoop to the machine and stitch the next step. The next step is going to stitch these two fabrics, the lining I put on the back side and this piece here on the front side, to the edge of the zipper. I'm going to get this put onto the machine. And we're going to stitch step 3. And let me move my lining just a little bit. There we go. and it's going to stitch those pieces to that zipper. On this design, I'm actually going to be using some metallic thread. When I get to the point of doing a design on the front, which I'm actually going to do a small design on the front of the bag, I'll be using some metallic. So let's go back to the table. And now that this piece is stitched on, I can remove this tape because I don't need it. The fabric is stitched down. I'm going to use a little bit of batting. If you have thin foam, you could also use that. It would give your bag a little bit more structure than a piece of batting. But you take one short edge and line it up with that seam that you just stitched. Get it lined up, get it all nice and smooth. And then take this top fabric and fold it down over the batting. So just kind of smooth it down. And I can use my hoop and press pad at this point as just like a little pad next to my sewing machine or my embroidery machine. And I can take my iron and I can press that. This will give me a nice crisp seam there. Okay, I want everyone to see that. The next step is actually going to baste this fabric down for me, and then it's going to do a decorative stitch here underneath the zipper. So let me switch to the machine. Now this lining piece on the back, you're going to notice it's still up there. I have not folded it down. So let me go ahead and again, it's going to baste around the three sides and it's going to do a decorative stitch underneath that zipper. And I'm just going to kind of hold it here, kind of make sure that the fabric stays nice and smooth. And why I added that basting stitch there was because if you're going to do a design on the front of the bag, it really helps it to, that fabric not to move, not to pucker or do anything while you're embroidering something on the front. And as I said, I'm going to be doing a design that I modified from the Hand Sketch Floral collection. The Hand Sketch Floral collection is a set that I did in collaboration with Dime, which is Designs and Machine Embroidery. And it's a raw edge applique set. There are 25 floral designs in it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a few samples. So let me grab my samples over here. So here's one of them. And you're going to notice right off the bat probably that the outlines don't really match the flowers. When the outline comes around, it's not matching. And that's deliberate. That's what's giving these designs in this set sort of a hand sketch look. You'll notice that all of this stitching, this background stitching, it's very light, it's very airy. So it's, I don't know, I love it. I really like the look of this. Here is another bag that I did, another Anna Lee purse. Again, I did it in cork and I did the appliques in this one in cork. The set does come with SVG files, so you can use your scan and cut or other cutting machine that uses SVG files to cut out these appliques. Here, let me give you a close-up look of this. You're going to notice too, when I say raw edge means there is no like satin stitch around the applique. A lot of you, when you look at applique designs, you immediately think it's got a satin stitch finish. Well, these designs don't. They are tacked down with the triple stitch. Well, of course, first there's a placement like any other applique design. You would put your pieces down, then it would come and do a triple stitch. And if you don't have a cutting machine, that's perfectly fine. You would just lay the fabric down, do the tack down, which is that triple stitch, and then trim around each piece. So the design that I've got the bag I'm working on is done. Let me just pull it out so you can see what's happening so far with it. And let me bring this up here. Now you can see this decorative stitch that went underneath the zipper. It's kind of a, I don't know, it kind of looks like a little arrow. It's nice and thick. It's going to be below the zipper and above the zipper. So I wanted you to see that. The next step is going to start one of these hand sketch floral designs. And again, I took one of the designs from the set and I modified it a little bit. I, took out some of the parts basically to make it where it will stitch quicker for the purpose of this demo. And I'm going to be using some metallic thread. So let's switch back to the machine. And what it's going to do on this design, the background, like I showed you earlier, the darker stitch on some of those designs, I'm going to be using metallic thread. So let's go back and look at some more samples. So this, I put the design on front of one of my notebook covers and in the hoop notebook cover. On this one, you're going to notice I used a dark charcoal gray instead of black. When you're doing this, the background and then the stitches that come over top, you want to use something that's going to contrast, that's going to, make it stand out. So here are just some towels that I did. Excuse me. And these are just some of the other designs in the collection. I'll just kind of go through these kind of quickly. They can get an idea. They're really pretty. I just love them. This is one I just put on a little bag that I made. This one, let's talk about this one a little bit. Excuse me. Now this one I did on black fabric. So instead of using black as my, accent pieces, on this one, I used metallics. This is a gold metallic. There's silver metallic here on these little buds. And on this, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but see how sparkly it is? I didn't use fabric. I used glitter heat transfer vinyl. So again, the SVG files are included, or you don't have to have a cutting machine to do these. But if you're going to use HTV, you want to mirror image your applique pieces. This is a green sparkle glitter. It looks really pretty in person. Very holiday, a really nice holiday feel. And before I show you some other samples, the background is done stitching. Let me just show you that. And I did use a silver metallic. I don't think the sparkle is showing up under the light. But the next step, it's going to stitch a placement for the applique. So let me go ahead and put that under the machine. And I am going to have to change my thread because the next flower I'm going to do is actually going to be like a poinsettia. In the design set, it's not really a poinsettia, but the shape of the flower made me think of one. So I just decided to stitch it in red. And then it gave me the look of the poinsettia, which is what I showed you in that last sample. This one. I kind of turned it into a poinsettia by using red, and I've seen white poinsettias, so that works too. This is just another one. On this one, I used a product. It's another heat transfer product, but it's called Strip Flock. So it kind of has a little bit of a fuzzy feel to it. Of course, you can use fabric on these flowers, and that's mainly what I have used was fabric. On this, it's kind of a little, I don't know, like a little table mat. It could be a place mat. These are all fabric on here. And all I did was take one of the designs from the set. copy pasted, flipped it, and then took these two, copy pasted, flipped them, and moved them to the other side of the hoop, and then put one of the other designs from the set here in the center. So, you can mix and match the designs however you want. So this is done stitching the placement. So let's take a look at that. And I think you can see that. So I said on this one I was going to use heat transfer vinyl. So if you are familiar with heat transfer vinyl, it has a carrier sheet. And it's this clear, I don't want to call it plastic, but it's this clear piece right here. If you're going to use it for an applique, you do need to peel that off because you don't want to stitch through this piece. You just toss this, just throw it away. So here's my applique that I'm going to use. And I got to turn it to figure out how it's going to fit in here. And it's going to go just like this. But it doesn't have any it does have adhesive on the back, but not the type that we're used to when we use fabric. So how am I going to get this to stay without it sliding all around? My little tip is to use a kid's glue stick. Just one of those little Elmer glue sticks. It's not going to hurt your machine. It's a water-based glue. And I'm just going to put a little bit. I only need a little bit. I don't want to get it on my fabric, so I'm going to just move it here off camera a little bit. And all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of the glue on the back side to hold it so that I can get it in place and keep it there and have it stitch the tack down, which is that triple stitch. I want to make sure that it's in that placement well. Now, if I didn't have a pre-cut applique piece like this, I would just put down a piece of fabric that covered that placement area, do the tack down, which is the next step, and then trim around it. Very, very easy to do. This Elmer's glue, the Elmer glue stick, is not going to gum up your needle. I've used it quite a bit on stuff, on all those cork purses that I showed you with the cork appliques. That's how I kept the cork in place. So let me get this back on the machine. And the next step, we'll tack this piece down. I am going to watch this because, I certainly don't want it to shift or move. Let me go ahead and start it. And I'm just going to keep a little eye on it. I've got like a skewer here that I can just make sure that everything stays in place. There we go. So it's stitched around, and it's going to, like I said, it's a triple stitch. It's going to be going across it again. Let me see. I think I got a couple more samples to show you from this set. This is just like a little table mat, or you could use it as a hanging that I did just to showcase more designs from the set. Like I said, there are 25. And let's see, I'll show you this a little bit later, this. And then this is part of the design that I used that I modified today. But this one, I enlarged it. And the way that I enlarged it was when you download this set, you get to pick your format, just like, any collection, but you also get the C2S format, which is the native format for Dime. If you have that format, and Dime has free software, it's called Embroidery Toolshed. What you can do is bring in that native format, that C2S, and enlarge it, and it will enlarge perfectly. Okay, use other software, can't guarantee how it's going to stitch out, but if you use that free Dime software and stitch it out, and enlarge it, it will stitch out perfectly. So, and another thing I want to mention about the SVG files that are included. You don't have to enlarge them. You don't have to do anything to them. just cut them and use them. Erin, you could, if you wanted to, let me grab this off of the machine. If you wanted to, you could press this vinyl in place to begin with. Sometimes though, I've done purses and a lot of times, let's say I'm using cork and I'm going to put HTV on it. Maybe I don't want to get the iron onto my cork. I've also done purses using like a fur or a synthetic type of a fabric that I don't want my iron to touch. So that might be a reason why you don't want to put it, iron this down, but you certainly could if you have, cotton fabrics and other things that you wouldn't want the iron to maybe mess up. Now, another thing with appliques and the hoop and press pad. So let's say we had a piece of applique fabric, we cut our square, we put it over our placement, we tacked it down, we trimmed around it like we would a regular applique. You can use the hoop and press pad to then put the hoop over top of the hoop and press pad, take your iron and press it from the back side. And why do you want to press from the back side and applique from the back side? Well, the reason is with your applique here, your fusible is now facing upward. It's on your base fabric and the fusible is facing up. So when you put the iron down, it's drawing that fusible up into the base fabric. So you're getting a really nice bond with your applique pieces. So let's see, I have one more thing to stitch here to finish this up. It's going to add some of those details in. I am going to go back to my metallic thread. And I am using King Star Metallic, which I absolutely love. And I know that Sewing Machine Plus sells King Star thread. It is by Dime. And it's one of the best metallic threads there is. Let me just go ahead and get my machine threaded. When I use King Star, I don't use a special needle. I'm still using a 7511 needle. And let me get this started. I don't slow my machine down when I use metallic thread, the King Star. I basically run my machine at about 700 stitches a minute. I don't run my machine at full blast at any time, but I don't slow it down any when I'm using the King Star. Another thing is, I'm sure you've heard the stories when you use metallic thread of people putting it 2 feet away from the machine so that it has to unkink or something, or they put it in a bowl, or they run it through a styrofoam peanut. I'm sure you've heard of all these tricks. You don't have to do any of that with the King Star. And let's see, there's just one more step to finish this flower, and I'm still going to go ahead and use the metallic thread for that step. And let me just check. And I believe the machine cut my thread too short when it cut that last step. So let me go ahead and rethread it. And I'll probably back it up a few stitches so that I'm sure I didn't miss something. And there we go. I see a lot of people saying either they've used King Star thread and love it, or they need to try it. And if you haven't used it, you do need to try it. I believe Sewing Machine Plus carries all, I want to say 17 colors they have. I'm not exactly sure, but I think they have 17 different colors. And it's not just for the holidays. King Star metallics are great for, you know, if you want something dressy or maybe you want something to stand out a little bit, metallic thread is perfect for that. I see Dorothy just got some. She hasn't tried it yet. You're going to love it once you do. Okay, I'm checking to see what step the machine is doing now. It's just about done with this, and this is the last step of the flower. So after that, we'll move on and get some more of the design done. Bruce says it's on his list. Yeah, put it on your Christmas list. I think that's a great idea. I would love to get a bunch of metallic thread for a Christmas present. I see a lot of people are saying they do love that thread. All right, so I believe the design is done now. Let's pull it off the machine. And I'll let you get a look at it here. Let me just lay it down right here. And I hope you can see how sparkly and pretty that is. You know, when I get done with the design, of course you'll see it, but when I get done with it, I'll be sure to post a nice close-up picture of it. I'm changing my thread back to the red I had been using to get ready to move on with the design. Okay, so now that we have our design done on the front, what we want to do is go back and work on the back side of the hoop again. Kathy, Kingstar can definitely be put in the bobbin. I have done lace flowers, Christmas ornaments, especially with a Christmas ornament where you're going to see the back side. Definitely, I use it in the bobbin. Let me just put the hoop back over top of the hoop and press pad. And the next step is I got to get this tape off of here. And the next step is to fold down the lining piece. So this is another step that I want to press with an iron, and the hoop and press pad allows me to do that. A lot of us just pull the fabric down, we tape it, and then this is the problem. Can you see that fabric move up here? That's what I call the bubble. And you get that bubble effect because the fabric is not fully pressed down. Now that I can use my iron with the hoop and press pad, you can see I have a nice flat seam. I don't have that bubble anymore. See, I can't move that fabric. I am going to tape it at the bottom to make sure it stays in place. And my next step is to take the small piece of lining, place it right side down, line it up with the top edge of the zipper, and I'm going to tape that piece in place. Anne says ironing is so important, and it is so important. If you were sewing a purse or anything on a sewing machine, you would iron after each step. So why not iron after your steps when you're doing something in the hoop? On the front side of the hoop, I'm going to take my other main fabric piece, lay it right side down, even with the fabric there at the top of the zipper. I'll just put a small piece of tape there. I'm going to take it to the machine, making sure everything on the back side is where it should be. Because don't you hate when you move your hoop to the back, to the machine, and something on that back side flipped on you? That is just so bad when it does that. I'm just looking at some of the comments. This design does go together very easily. Let me take it off the machine and we'll go back to the table. All right, so now that this is stitched, I'm going to take my piece of batting. Let me get that tape off. I don't like to stitch tape inside of my projects. Lay it even with that seam we just stitched. Fold this piece up. Again, I can use my press pad as a little pressing station and get that pressed down nicely. Now, the next step of this design is going to stitch another row of decorative stitches right along here, just like it did there. I'm leaving that lining piece on the back side down because I don't want this stitching to show on the inside of my bag. So let me get this going. And again, it's going to do that little kind of, I want to call it a little arrow stitch. So yeah, these bags are, like I said, there are 4 sizes in the set: 6 by 10, 7 by 12, 8 by 12, and 9.5 by 14. Those are all the sizes that come. And again, they are blank. The ones that I'm showing you are blank. And the flowers are from the Hand Sketch Floral collection, which is, you know, a very versatile set. You can do a lot with those hand sketched flowers. This little mini iron that I'm using, I just picked it up at off of Amazon. It's any small iron. Sometimes I even use my big iron when I'm pressing on the back side. While I'm here in this area, you know, doing a demo for you, I try to keep things smaller, and my big iron is kind of on the other side of the room. So that's why I'm using the small iron. My zipper is not going to melt with the iron. I iron all of my zippers. I iron my zippers before I start a project, because sometimes, you know, that zipper tape gets a little, you know, bent, twisted, creased, and I like my zippers to be nice and flat. You know, I'm a big ironer. I iron everything. So ironing does not hurt the zipper in any way. I see someone asking a question about the cork bag. Let me grab this one down here. So yeah, the cork is done the exact same way. The appliques are done the same way that I'm showing you how I did this little red flower on this bag. I did use a glue stick to hold all these pieces down because I couldn't hold these down any other way, because I used a scan and cut to cut my pieces. The SVG files can be cut using any cutting machine that can read an SVG. Let me grab this off the machine and bring it back to the table. So you can see it did this little decorative stitch up here to mimic this other stitch. And now we need to go to the back side of the hoop again. So of course I'm going to use the hoop and press pad, lay it down on top. And the next step is to fold this fabric up. And again, I want to press that so it lays nice and flat. Let me make sure I got tape on here. Let me get that off. So press it up, iron it in place. And I'm going to retape it up here at the top. And again, I'm able to press down because I have the pad underneath here. At this point, I need to trim the stabilizer out from behind the zipper area. This is so that I can have access into the inside of the purse. I'm going to turn my hoop because it's easier for me to trim this way. The hoop and press pad helps at this point also because I got to get the tip of my scissors into that stabilizer, but not into my zipper. And so it allows me to get underneath here without having to poke down through that stabilizer and possibly into that zipper. So let me just get some of the stabilizer out of here. I'm leaving about 1 inch of stabilizer on each side. Again, I'm doing this so I can get inside my purse when it's finished. All right, so I got that done. Let's go to the front side. And what the next step is going to do, it's going to put a couple of placement lines up here because we're going to be adding tabs to the top of the purse with hardware so that we can add a strap later on. So let me go ahead and put this back on the machine. Let it stitch those tabs, and let me show you what I mean by tabs. These two pieces here with these D-rings, those are the tabs. I like to add tabs and then add a strap with swivel hooks to, I attach my strap. Of course, we can't make a strap in the hoop, so I've got a strap for this purse already. You can see I do like to use rivets, although you don't have to use rivets. You can just, I take it, I fold it under, and then you can just machine stitch across to attach the hardware. But I like to use the tabs, and tabs are just basically short pieces of strap. I put them, my D-rings, I just inserted a short end, brought the short ends together. And what I like to do is I like to sew across the top. That keeps the ends together. I hate when I put these tabs in and then it shifts on me, you know, kind of comes out crooked like that or something. I don't like that. So that's why I just machine sew those ends together. So I've got the placement line stitched. So let me pull the hoop out here. So I'm going to be placing my little tabs now. Also, you know, if you wanted to, you could stitch the strap in without using hardware. The thing I don't like about that is you have to place your strap, you have to gather it all here in the center, you got to make sure it's flat, you have to tape it down. You know, it creates a bubble here. That's why I like to use tabs. Tabs are just, to me, create a more professional looking finish. So to place the tab, you can see my place, hopefully you can see that placement line. It's right here on this side. I'm going to place it so that the edge of the tab is even with that. And I'm going to put the fold of my tab down here, even with the fold of this line. So the fold of the tab is even there. I'm up against the line here. I'm basically to the right side of it. And I need to tape that down. Let's see. I always like to look too and see which side I like better to be up. So let me tape that one in place. Same way with this tab. Here's the placement line. Might be a little hard for you to see, but I'm going to align the tab to the left of that placement, and I'm going to make sure the fold is even with this fold down here on this fabric. Once I have it in place, I am going to tape it down. The next step is going to actually tack these down for me really quick. I don't want them to shift when I'm doing the rest of the project. So let me go ahead and get this on the machine. And it's just a quick little stitch to tack those down. You do want to make sure that after it stitches the first one, let me change the camera view, that it does not catch on the second one. So sometimes what I like to do even is as it goes over, if you wanted to stop your machine just to make sure that it's in the right spot and it didn't catch on anything, and then let it stitch it down, get it tacked down. All right, we're almost done with this bag. Can you believe it? So let's take it off the machine one more time because we have to do something very important. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this tape off because I don't need it because the tabs got stitched down. What we have to do is unzip our zipper halfway. I know sometimes we forget, but now is the time. So I'm just going to unzip it halfway. What kind of batting did I use on this? I just used like Warm and Natural. That was it. So the next step is to take my fabric that's going to become the back side of the purse, center it right side down over the hoop, take another piece of batting, place it on top of that. I like to make sure everything is smooth, and put it back on the machine, and it's going to attach it over here on the side. So let me get everything ready back on the machine. I am using a Brother Luminaire. Doesn't matter. Any machine that has the correct hoop size will stitch the design. Yeah, don't forget to unzip. That's always a big issue. So you can see it's going to attach it there on the side. Arnell, yeah, this is it's going to be a nice purse for Christmas. I don't know if you really noticed or could see, but when I take this off, I'll show you that when I stitched my straps and my tabs, I used the same red thread when I stitched around down the long edges. I just thought it kind of, it added to the strap a little bit. It brought some more of the red in and kind of coordinated it a little bit. All right, so the last step is to go to the back side of the hoop. I'm going to use my hoop and press pad again. Place this over the hoop and press pad. And now I'm going to take my last piece of lining fabric and lay it on top, center it. I just get it centered here. And I am going to tape it down. I know I got a few wrinkles here, so I might as well kind of press those out. I got that hoop and press pad underneath there. Might as well do it. I am going to tape this in place. I don't want my lining shifting on me when I go to put it back on the machine to stitch the last step. When it stitches this, this purse has a rounded bottom on it, which is another little kind of like detail that I like about it. Let me just make sure this is on the front. What I like to do sometimes too, and I like to pin through everything. Let me double check and make sure that my hardware is where it's supposed to be. I like to pin through everything, and I pin at the very, very top of the hoop and the very, very bottom of the hoop. And I mean, the tape will hold stuff down, but I don't know. I kind of like to pin because it keeps everything nice and flat. And if I want to turn my head and look away from my project, I feel more comfortable if I have everything taped down. Again, I'm just kind of checking that hardware underneath there. Okay, so I'm ready to stitch the last step. It's going to stitch around and it's going to leave an opening over here. So let me get this on the machine. And get that last step going. And I'll come back and see if there are any questions. I see someone said something about you'll be able to get it back in. They're probably talking about the pull, if the pull came off. I don't know. I think it might have been my last time I was here on SMP doing the Takeover Tuesday. I did a different style purse that I have, and I accidentally pulled the pull off, and I was able to get it back on. So, you know, you can definitely fix a lot of mistakes or things that happen while you're doing it in the hoop design. So I'm letting this stitch. I'm keeping an eye on it because we know what happens if we don't. I'm glad that so many of you are enjoying the demo. Again, I do like to kind of keep an eye on this. Let's kind of watch it as it finishes up. Right now it's making that rounded bottom. And it's almost done. And we're going to take it out of the hoop. And we're going to trim it up, turn it, and our purse is going to be done. I see someone said they noticed my spools of thread behind me on my tree. Yeah, that's my Dime Exquisite thread. I use Dime Exquisite thread exclusively. I love it. It's just great thread, and most importantly, my machines love it. So it's time to take this out of the hoop. So let me switch my camera. Make sure everything's good on the back side, because if it wasn't, I would be able to fix it. So I like to double check and make sure that everything looks good before I take it out of the hoop. So when I do purses, One thing I like to do is I like to trim the batting only from around the design first. And I like to do this because it gets the batting out of the seam. So my seams are going to lay a lot flatter and nicer. And I'm doing this quickly. I could even get a little bit closer. And it keeps the bulk out of any corners that you have. This purse happens to have rounded corners here at the top and, of course, the rounded bottom. But removing the batting and only this piece, we have other batting in here, but, trimming this is good enough. So now we need to go, I like to go to the back side, find my opening. It's right here. And when I start trimming, I like to start at the opening. So I'm clipping on either side. And the reason I start on the opening is sometimes if I don't start there and I just start trimming and I'm not paying attention, I'll trim this fabric off. And I need this fabric to turn in to hide my opening. So now that I have the opening taken care of, I'm just going to trim around the purse about 1/4 inch from the stitching all the way around. Another tip is you get to the zipper. And let me get this out of the way. Right here's my zipper, the ends of my zipper. I don't want to cut those real short. Have you ever had a purse that you stitched and it kind of started pulling away, the zipper pulled away at the seam? It's because you cut the ends of the zipper too short. I am going to cut them shorter than that, leave them about 1/2 inch. But if you leave them longer, then you don't have to worry about maybe the edge pulling out. Same thing I'm doing up here at the top. Let me get this cut and then I'll show you. I don't want to cut my tabs. And this is the tab. Let me see if I can see it right there. That's the end of my tab. Again, I don't want to cut it short because if I do, and I'm using my purse, and it's hanging off my shoulder and I'm getting in and out of it, if I cut that short and all the pressure and stress I put on it, the tab could have a tendency to pull out. So I like to keep those longer. And again, on this side, I'm running into the zipper. So let me just kind of get around that. Again, I don't need it that long. 1/2 inch is good. And let me get this trimmed down. Kind of doing this quickly to get through this, but I do want to share some of these tips with you. And again, I don't want to cut the end of that tab. So let me get around here and then I can trim it up a little bit better after I know where my tab is. Okay, and like I said, these corners are rounded. So I want to make sure I round them. And on this, take the time to clip into these curves here. And also take the time to clip your curve around the bottom. This allows your fabric to relax and have it round out really nicely. Here at the opening, I only need my 2 lining pieces, this one and this one. And all this stuff back here is bulk. So I'm just going to trim it down to 1/4 inch. Now we're ready to start to turn the bag. I'm going to reach in and let's see, I'll just start down here at the bottom. This is always the fun part to me is turning it. You need a tool to poke out your corners with. And I'll show you what I use here in a moment. I know that Sewing Machine Plus sells them. I'm not sure if they have them in stock right now. Let me just get these top corners pushed out with my fingers. But I like to use this R&K Precision Turning Tool. So just get it in there, get these corners pushed out nicely. Take the time to do that. You can see how nice that corner looks there. I like to take it and run it around the seams to get that seam pushed out nicely. I'm going to run it around the bottom and around the edge. See how everything starts to come out really nice. And when I'm happy with it, I do like to press it on both sides before, I go on. I'm not really going to take the time, but, just kind of give it a nice press on both sides. And then you have to take care of your opening. You're going to take your lining and fold it in. You can hand sew. You can use fusible tape. Close it however you want, but you do need to close that opening on your lining. We're just going to pretend that I did. And the next step would be to come and fully open the bag. Let me find that pull. Sometimes it's, and then get it fully open. Again, you would have closed that seam on the side. We're going to pull the bag through the zipper. And let me just kind of smooth this out down here. You can use your tool again to make sure everything's pushed out well. And up here at the top, I would use that tool to get these corners pushed out nicely. I do use my fingers at the beginning, but get in there with that tool and get that corner. See how nice it rounds out over here. I would give it another press to get everything nice and flat. And then I would just attach my strap to those D-rings and my little purse is done. So how do you like that? Again, it does need to be pressed. I can quickly kind of maybe press it just a smidge for you. But there we go. So I think it's going to be a really cute holiday bag, or you can do it with any fabrics that you'd like. So Kennedy, were there any questions that I missed?
Reen, that bag is so adorable. Everybody is loving it. And it looks so easy to do too.
It really is easy, just follow the instructions.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think I'm the kind of person, I get bugged really easily if I have a purse that's too big or I'm lugging something around all the time. I love that size. It's like the perfect thing to just throw your phone, your wallet, all the necessities. I love it so much. I'm like, I think I can do that.
Oh, you can do it.
Just do it on the side. But especially with those embroidery designs, that's like one of my favorite styles of designs, that almost not quite watercolor, but like the sketched and the just very clean looking. I love it. And everybody on here just is obsessed with those designs as well.
Yeah, and they are like nice, light, airy, perfect for t-shirt, shirts.
Airy, that's a good word.
Just everything. They really are.
I love it. I know I wrote down a couple questions. Someone asked if it was okay to use double fusible foam.
Double fusible foam?
Possibly instead of batting, I'm going to assume.
I have used foam in my bags before. It doesn't have to be fusible. I know there's a sew-in type that isn't fusible, and I know there's a single-sided fusible. Any of them work. And it does add a little bit more structure, which I like, in a little bit bigger bag, maybe not necessarily one this size, but in some of the larger bags, definitely. I like the foam.
Oh, no, I love that. And then I think you answered this already with the batting, but do you have to use batting, or can you go without it and just use no batting in between and just have a little purse?
Well, I personally would use batting. Just think of it as you're going to have two pieces of fabric. I mean, it's going to be very flimsy, if that's your style, great. But I prefer a little bit of batting in there, something padded too. If you put your phone in there, maybe you drop your purse, it might protect it a little bit. That's
exactly what I was thinking. I saw the question and I was like, well, let me think about this. And having the batting or foam or whatever you want to use in the middle of it just gives it a little bit more structure, and whatever is going inside your purse just protects it a little bit more. So
Right.
I think it would probably be an essential to use the batting for sure.
And a tip for the foam, since the foam, I mean, it's not really thick, but it is thicker than batting. What I do is if I notice my foot is kind of dragging a little bit when I use foam, just go into your settings and bump that height of your embroidery foot up and like a notch will do it.
Yeah, no, I love that, especially with all the features that you have in your machine already. You can really adjust certain things. I mean, if you wanted to make it thicker, thinner, whatever you want to do. I love that you can do so many different combinations for the pattern itself and for the purses. I love it. So let me see. Any other questions? Yvonne asked, what kind of shears were you using?
I use Kai scissors, and I know S&P sells those.
We
And
love
also,
Kai
what do I
scissors.
trim with are the little 4-inch curved Kai scissors that, I mean,
Ooh.
I know that, some people, you have to, it's a very personal choice what you're going to trim with, do detail work with. But these are my like go-to. I've had these for years.
I love it. Kai, if you're watching now, Kai scissors are probably collectively here at SMP, probably one of our favorite brands. And you're hearing it from Reen. She uses them as well. So that's your sign. I love it. Well, Reen, thank you so much for coming on and showing off this amazing purse today. I mean, everybody is just saying it's the most adorable purse and they're inspired. And I hope everybody goes and checks out the Annalie purse collection as well as those designs. Reen, I'm sure you've probably got a busy day today, so I will go ahead and let you go. But thank you again, and I hope you had fun.
Oh, I enjoyed this totally. Thanks so much for asking me back. Have a great Thanksgiving and a great holiday season.
You too. Thank you so much, Reen. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
All right, you guys. Isn't she awesome? I love her. She is so great. Let's go ahead and get into the giveaways real quick. We're going to do just a couple of Rogers running past. Let's get some music going and see what we're giving away today. Let's see. All right. First thing we're giving away, you know the drill. It is our iconic SMP sew mats. They're amazing. We've got some new colors and some new colors on the way. Also, I don't know if Melanie is still watching, but I saw her comment at the beginning of the show, and I'm supposed to say happy birthday to Jet. I hope you're still watching. A happy birthday to Jet. Everyone say happy birthday, Jet. Hope it's a great day for you. My birthday's coming up soon, so I know the excitement. Okay, back to the giveaways. We are giving away the iconic sew mats. If you do win, you can head to SMPLive.tv. Let me put this right down in the little right over here so you can see where to go claim your prize. But claim your prize there. You can pick out the color and the size. And if you're wondering sizing and all that stuff, if you go back to our show last Thursday, Deb had a whole setup of all the amazing sew mats and a nice little sizing demonstration, I guess. You can just see all of them in the background of where she was at. So highly recommend if you kind of are confused about sizing or things like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and see who is going to win. I'm going to spin it. It's going. Who's going to win? Okay. Is that Renee? Am I saying that right? Renee Grote Zubarik? If that is you, I don't want to mess up your name. I think Renee. Congratulations. Go ahead and head to smplive.tv to claim your prize. We will go ahead and ship that out to you. You can pick the size and the color, and we have all of the colors all up on our website so you can see which ones you like the best. All right, let's go ahead and do another giveaway. Now, I want to give this away because we went over some amazing projects today and amazing embroidery designs. So, of course, I want to throw in a $100 gift card. Hello, woo woo. Okay. So let's go ahead and see who is going to win this $100 gift card. And you guys can go treat yourself, especially with Black Friday coming up. You guys, the deals that we have this year, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, and I have my wallet out and ready for all of these deals. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin again and see who's gonna win this $100 gift card. Let's see. All right. Oh, we're gonna spin again. We're spinning again. We won. We won. I'm just kidding. We're gonna spin again. Don't freak out. Where's my mouse? Okay, there we go. We're spinning again. I'm sorry, you guys. It does that sometimes. It does that. It does that. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and see. Priscilla Paris. Congrats, Miss Priscilla. You have just won a $100 gift card. So all you have to do is head to SMPlive.tv to claim your prize, and we will get that out and you can start shopping. All right, guys, I'm going to give away one more gift card, and this one's going to be $50. So let's go ahead and spin one more time. Perfect timing for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Oh, you guys, these next few days, Friday to Monday, you guys better watch out because the deals, everything is so exciting. Judy Murphy, congratulations. You have just won a $50 gift card from SMP. So go ahead and head to smplive.tv to claim your prize, and we will go ahead and get that shipped out to you. All right. Or not shipped out. We're going to email you your gift card. For everyone who won the gift card, we email it to you. So you'll get it soon. I promise. I'm just mixing up things over here. But I just saw some comments about how to enter for the giveaways, and I just want to let you know that by commenting, by sharing, and by liking the video, that enters you into the giveaway. So if you thought that you weren't entered, but you were commenting, you're still entered. So there's nothing special you need to do for the shows. All you have to do is just comment. You know, if you see something you like, say it. Just a great way to get involved. It's awesome. And then you get to win prizes. I mean, come on. It's great. Good reason to stick around. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. We have got some big, exciting things to plan for the Cyber Monday live stream happening November 28th from 8 a.m. PST. And all day, you see me for only an hour, and you see Blaine for about an hour every week. You're going to see us all day on Monday, 8 hours, 8 a.m. PST to 4 p.m. PST. You can join in at any time. We're going to have tons of educators every 15 minutes going and showing off new machines and different fun things. It's so exciting. But make sure you join in for that. And then also countdown to Christmas, December 12th through the 16th. No show this Thursday with Blaine, no SMP Live because it's Thanksgiving and we're going to all be eating some turkey. So I hope you guys go indulge and go eat as much food as you can because it's Thanksgiving, you guys, and pumpkin pie just for me. Just for me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Go enjoy some time with family if you can, and just do something that's good for you. Go read a book, do something, relax, unwind, get some rest, do whatever you can, do a project, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just throwing out some ideas for you guys. But I will see you guys very, very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and an amazing Thanksgiving, and we will see you very, very soon. All right, you guys. Toodaloo. I'll see you soon. Oh, that kind of rhymed. Bye, guys.